how to overcome anxiety instantly. This is a topic that almost everyone needs. I have been in practice for over 26 years, and I'm going to talk to you straight. I'm in shock how many people are medicated with anxiety. And it's not old people, and it's also not people that necessarily you would consider have any reason to be anxious, but it's a common thing right now. If I see patients that are, I'm going to say, under the age of 25, what we do is we have standard medical forms. When they come in, they fill out their forms, they put down their condition that they're concerned with, past medical history, and they list their medications. And it is almost impossible to find someone under the age of 25 who isn't on some type of antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication. It bothers me. It bothers me because I know that these medications are going to have some long-term effects. Now, I understand that they have great short-term effects. They help people with anxiety. But it seems as though there's way too many people that have anxiety. And of course, to be anxious. Hold that thought 1 second. I think my wife is texting me, and okay, I'm gonna let this pass because I'm talking to you, and this is important. Anxiety it's not just anxiety that people are having problems with. What happens when you have anxiety is there's a constant strain on your adrenal gland, which releases a lot of different hormones that will start to essentially age you. And if you've ever met anyone who has a lot of anxiety, you're never going to look at them and say, oh, come on. All right, I'm going to shut this off somehow if I know how to do it. You're not going to see a whole lot of people that have anxiety that look really young and radiant. It's almost like they're aging, doesn't it? I mean, it does to me when I see someone who has anxiety for a long period of time, they're on medication, they don't look their age, they look older. Having anxiety can lead to high blood pressure, depression, which have their own types of medications. So you can see where I'm going with this is that if someone starts with anxiety and has a hard time dealing with it and is on medication, chemically they're going to end up with other problems that require further medication. So I came up with 3 things that I talked to patients about, and what sparked this was I was just talking to a patient who she had tension in her shoulders, pain in her shoulders. She also had carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome is getting better, but I tested her today. I examined her, totally in good alignment in terms of her neck. Excellent alignment, not a problem. In other words, chiropractically, there's nothing that I can adjust on her, but she still felt tension. And this is one of the things that I told her to do, was to do deep breathing exercise. It is really incredible how well deep breathing exercises work for anxiety. And you could literally see it in the office, and it happens like that. It is so incredible. But if you take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, you just let it relax. You let it relax you. And it's important to breathe extremely deep. That's the thing, guys. One of my most popular videos on YouTube is an exercise that I just sat here and just took 30 deep breaths. And it's kind of funny how that's the most popular video, but it just is. And it so affects your mind and how well you can relax. But people poo-poo it, and I get probably 90% positive comments on it and 10% negative comments, and most of the negative comments are just silly. But breathing exercises. So here's the thing when it comes to anxiety, is if you can do the deep breathing exercises on a daily basis, whether you have anxiety that day or not, you make it a habit, like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth when your teeth hurt, you brush your teeth all the time. Hopefully. Hopefully. Brush your teeth. Breathe every single day. I mean, it's such an amazing amazing thing that can help people, and when done regularly can have long-term effects that transcend just the anxiety that you feel today. I find myself doing it pretty much every day as a habit because I like it. It helps me relax. It helps me get ready for the day, get mentally centered, separate my personal life from my business life. So if something is straining me or stressing me in my personal life, which for the most part, I wish I could say that I have a bad personal life, that it makes me better. It just doesn't. I have a good personal life. So, but everybody has problems, right? So if anything's stressing you out, the deep breathing just sets the day to say to myself and say to my brain, that's your personal life. You're not a cyclist anymore. You're not having family problems. There's no strain. You have to focus on your job, which, by the way, my job is not YouTube. I don't do this. I'm trying to help you guys, but this isn't my primary career, if you can call it a career. I've been a chiropractor for 26 years. I have a good reputation in town. I want to keep it that way. And the only way to keep a good reputation is literally to treat every patient as if they are the most important person in your life at that moment. So I try to mentally be focused when I go into the room. I try to connect with patients. I try to figure out what their problems are, how I can best solve it, and I have to be focused. I put the blinders on, so I can't be Adam. I can't be the cyclist. I can't be the guy that plays guitar and sucks at it. As a side note, my son is an excellent guitarist, and I am not. And he keeps telling me, well, why don't you just keep practicing and take lessons? And it's just like, dude, I got other things to do. But nonetheless, breathing, very powerful. That's number one. If you have anxiety, watch my breathing videos and get started. Do it every day and do it for 30 days and see what happens. The second thing that you can do, and this is something that I think is lost on this younger generation, which makes me feel old, because nothing is worse than a person older than you saying, in my day, we didn't have your problems. But we actually did, I grew up in a time when we thought another country was gonna nuke us and destroy our country. There was a lot of turmoil that seems to be, they keep saying it happens today, but I honestly don't think it's as bad as it once was. But appreciation for what you have, what's good. There was a time when people had to get drafted and knew they weren't coming home. That stress. There was a time when there was other countries that wanted to destroy us. There still is. It's just, right now there's other problems, right? Other things to think about. A lot of problems are in your mind when you're worried about things that are happening in the world that you have no control over. And there is nothing more stressful than having problems that you have no control over. And I think it's important to sit down every single day and at least think about one thing that you're appreciative of. Are you healthy? Are you still above ground? Do you still have both arms and two legs? I mean, what are we complaining about? Do you have a job still through this whole situation that shall not be named that's been going on for 2 years now, at least in our country? What's the problem? You still are alive, and sitting down and saying to yourself, darn it, man. I mean, what am I complaining about? Did your parents have problems with the internet? Was the biggest problem that Starbucks was closed that day? Was the biggest problem that your cell phone didn't work or something like that? We don't have problems now. We have access to all health information at our fingertips. Anything we want to know, we just go to this little device here and type it in, and it just gives it to us. And no matter what we want to know, if we have the opposite opinion, we can find our family. I mean, you couldn't do that in the 1940s. Are you nuts? What about the 1840s? So it's one of those things. I like the New York style of talking about it. Forget about it, right? The third thing, and this is important, and this scientifically has the most backing of how to deal with anxiety, is exercise. When you have anxiety and you have high blood pressure and you're getting depressed, hormones are stimulated in your brain and other organs that are bad for us. Exercise does the exact opposite. If you can find something that would force you to exercise, and it doesn't have to be cycling, it doesn't have to be running, it doesn't have to be swimming, but typically for anxiety, cardiovascular style of exercise is really the most beneficial because of the hormones that are stimulated in our adrenal glands, in our pancreas, in our brain, that will combat the effects of stress and anxiety. And all it takes is a Google search to find this out. So if you don't like exercise, you should do it anyway. And that's the neat thing about exercise, is even if you don't like exercising, if you just do it, you'll actually benefit. That's kind of cool. The key is to find some type of exercise that you like. So breathing, having appreciation for something today, and exercise are the three things that you can do to combat anxiety instantly, that are natural, don't cost much, and pretty much are free. So I hope you like these videos. Down at the bottom, I'm going to put some other videos. Watch those videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.